Hello, fellow knobheads and beat people. I'm George, the GentlemanRocker, and today we talk about the Korg Minilogue again. This is video number 3 of a series, so if you haven't watched the other ones, go back and watch them. And today we want to talk about the different modes that you get when you're programming a sound with your Minilogue. So the first one is the poly mode, which is the main mode, I would say, because it's a 4-voice poly. And you have this voice mode knob that you can turn to change some stuff depending on the voices. And in poly mode, you're basically jumping between inversions of the chord you're playing. So if you're playing a chord and you're turning the knob, it will play you through various versions of this chord. Then there is duo mode, which lets the Minilogue behave like a dual voice synth. So it's only 2 voices, but if you turn the knob, they'll slightly detune so you can get a fatter sound. So you're using 2 voices and are spreading them to make your sound thicker, basically. The next one is Unison, which is basically the same, but not with 2 voices. It's just 1 voice, but you have this 4 oscillators that can detune and make the sound even bigger than the duo version. The next mode is called mono, which would make sense for the Unison mode, but mono is something different. You have your basic 1 voice mono synth sound, and with the knob you'll add a sub oscillator to it. You can have 2 oscillators and a sub oscillator in a mono sound. modes a little bit special in a way that they're not that common. So the next one is chord mode, where you press one note and it will play a chord with 3 or 4 notes based on your setting on the knob. So you can have major, minor, diminished, major sevenths, all these chords you can think of. And what's a funny thing to do, you can record the movement of the knob as a motion sequence. So if you play a sequence really slow and record it, you can step between the different chords. Nice thing, maybe. Then there's delay mode, which has nothing to do with the built-in delay effect, but is a voice mode where you have a mono sound, but it will be played delayed, like a MIDI delay. Maybe that's the best idea about it. So you play your sound and the sound will be triggered 4 times with a delay, as the name says. So you have this combination of delay sound, but not an effect one, as it's played with the synth. And you can combine the delay line from this delay mode together with the delay from the effects section to have like polyrhythmic sounds, which is really cool. Another mode is the arpeggiator, and this is where we get a little bit special. The arpeggiator just works with 4 notes max. So if you press a chord with 4 notes, everything is fine. If you add another one, it will drop the first pressed note and just play this 4 notes, which is maybe cool if you use it right, but sometimes you just want to have more than 4 notes in an arpeggiator, and as the synth is capable of doing more than 4 notes, basically, if it's just playing 1 note at a time. I don't know why they did it. It's how it is. With the turn of the knob, you get various modes, ups, downs, ups and downs, rise and falls, random stuff, and some chord arpeggiators where the chord you pressed is be repeated in different rhythmic fashions. So arpeggiator, slightly strange with this 4 note max setting, but you'll get used to it. The last mode is one I don't think I'll use that much. It's sidechaining, and you can do stuff like playing a chord with one hand and maybe the bass note 1 or 2 octaves down in a rhythmic fashion, and every time you play the new note, the bass note in this instance, the chord notes will get ducked, like sidechaining works. I don't use sidechaining, it's not a sound I use. Maybe a cool feature, I don't know if it works like that, because most of the time you do sidechaining to drums. But there are some ideas that come to mind, like when you play basic chord and you want to play a one-note melody over it. Maybe sidechaining is cool as it ducks the chord whenever you play a note. Not my kind of working, but it's what it is. So we have to live with it or don't use it. Like I will probably never use that. But if I want to have a sidechain sounding sound, I can do it. So it's there. Well, that were the eight modes of the Minilogue, and you can really do some very different sounding stuff with it. You have poly sounding stuff, you have your mono synth sounds with different settings, with a sub oscillator or detune, whatever your fancy, and they are a lot of fun to play, at least the first ones, and the delay one is really cool too. So there's stuff there to play with. So if you like this video, kick the subscribe button, drop some likes, and check in next time. I'm George, the Gentleman Rocker. Keep on rocking.